Yo, what is going on, guys? SCJ here, back with another NBA video, an NBA restart related video. And today, what I want to talk about, or who I want to talk about, is TJ Warren. Ever since the NBA restart on July 30th, or the Pacers' first game in the NBA bubble, or on the NBA campus on August 1st, one guy who has been putting on a clinic in Disney World's wide world of sports is Indiana Pacers small forward TJ Warren. Warren was already a very good player in my opinion, but ever since the 1920 season has restarted, TJ Warren has played so well that many people have started making MVP jokes or calling him the quote-unquote bubble MVP. So today we're going to dive into TJ Warren's recent level of play and just why he's earned this bubble MVP nickname. So last year, on June 20th, TJ Warren and the 32nd pick in the 2019 NBA draft were traded to the Indiana Pacers, and all the Pacers sent back to the Suns was money. This was a move that caught many fans, whether they be a fan of the Suns or Pacers, or just a basketball junkie, by surprise. Warren was a player who had then spent all 5 seasons of his career with the Suns, and he looked like he was finally starting to come into his own as a player, averaging 19.6 points in the 17-18 season, then averaging exactly 18 points last season in Phoenix before getting traded. Warren seemed like he would be a solid pickup for the Pacers, especially with the price they got him for, and would be a nice guy to help carry the load offensively, then become a nice secondary player or scorer once Victor Oladipo returned from his quad tendon rupture. So fast forwarding to the 1920 season, Warren was having a very solid first year with the Pacers before the season got suspended. In 61 games with the Pacers, Warren averaged exactly 4 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 1.1 steals, and 18.7 points per game on 52.9% field goal percentage. Those are very solid or very good numbers, and Warren was and still is leading the Pacers in scoring, and the team's ragtag roster or ragtag group of guys seeming to be led by Warren, Sabonis, and another first-year Pacer, Malcolm Brogdon, while Victor Oladipo recovered from his injury, seemed to be doing a good job. When Oladipo returned at the end of January, many were interested to see just how this Pacers team would perform together, with their best player finally returning and having a group of guys around him who were able to hold down the fort while he recovered from his injury. Oladipo clearly wasn't back to his old self yet, and the quote-unquote big three that kept the Pacers in playoff contention all season still kept carrying nearly the same weight as before. In Oladipo's 13 games back before the season got suspended, he averaged 13.8 points, 3.2 rebounds, and exactly 3 assists. Those numbers are down from last year as he averaged 18.8 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. While Oladipo still hasn't looked the same in the NBA bubble and has pretty much remained at the same level of play he was before the season got suspended, one guy who hasn't remained at the same level of play before the season got suspended is, of course, TJ Warren. On August 1st, when the Pacers returned inside the NBA bubble, Warren put up a career-high performance. Warren put up 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks to go along with an insane and eye-popping 53 points in the Pacers' win against the Philadelphia 76ers. I remember seeing Warren put up that stat line and wonder what got into him that game, but Warren putting up big numbers has seemed to remain a constant thing lately. Aside from one game where he shot poorly and only put up 16 points, and also their most recent game against the Miami Heat, where Warren only put up 12 points, Warren has dropped at least 32 points in each of the Pacers games in Orlando. Just some insane performances to say the least from Warren right now. In the Pacers' 6 games played inside the NBA bubble or at the NBA campus in Orlando, Warren has averaged 6.3 rebounds, exactly 2 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.2 blocks, and a whopping 31 points on the dot. Those are, of course, incredible numbers, and Warren is currently leading all scorers in the NBA bubble at the moment. So why and how is TJ Warren wreaking havoc on any team that he faces on the NBA campus in Orlando? Well, one of the main reasons is just how well Warren is shooting the ball in the games since the league has returned, and the entire 1920 season in general, too. Last year, Warren shot a field goal percentage of 48.6, and this season, Warren is averaging 53.6%, so exactly a 5-point increase in shooting percentage. That's clearly a huge jump in his numbers, but his shooting in the bubble in Orlando has improved even more. Warren is currently shooting a field goal percentage of 57.8% and was shooting exactly 50% on the dot before his poor performance against the Miami Heat, which may have been because he had Jimmy Butler in his head, which we'll get into a little later. Those are straight up just video game numbers right there, though. Warren is also shooting the 3 ball at 52.4% and was shooting it at 55% before the Pacers' last game against Miami, which is up from his 37% three-point percentage he shot before the 19-20 season got suspended. Another thing I found when doing my research is that he actually put up some great performances this year and was playing better than his numbers for the season actually show. Warren had 5 30-point games on the year before the NBA season got suspended back on March 11th. However, Warren also had 9 games where he was held under 10 points. So essentially, those 9 poor performances were kind of quote-unquote outlier games that made his numbers for the season look worse, and they kept his overall scoring averages down for the season. So basically, the best way to put it is, when Warren struggled, he really struggled or was really off the mark. But when he was on his game, he looked pretty similar to the guy we're seeing in the NBA bubble right now, if you don't include his best and his worst performance in the bubble. So how much longer will TJ Warren continue this hot streak? I don't think any of us really know and can really say as of right now, but if he continues this streak into the playoffs and we end up getting a Heat Pacers first round series like we're currently scheduled to get at the 4 and 5 seed matchup, especially with the history between Warren and Butler after their scuffle earlier this season, which I said might have affected Warren earlier when talking about his last game against the Heat, we'll have an absolute bloodbath of a playoff series on our hands to start off the 2020 NBA playoffs. I want to know what you guys think though. Is TJ Warren finally starting to cool off and come back down to earth? Or do you think it was simply just a poor performance against a really good and really tough team and Warren will remain hot in their next game? Let me know down in the comment section below. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. If you like this video, then give it a like. And if you want to see more NBA content and breakdowns, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And anyway, I'm SCJ and I am out. Peace.